Welcome back to Asinine Radio, a weekly podcast where we talk about music, and, well, that's pretty much it. So, let's go!
Hey. This is Asinine Radio. This is the weekly music podcast where every week we get into a different band, different artist, and we break down one of their records. We sometimes go song by song. We try to, have a good time. I don't know what we're doing. I don't know what I'm trying to say. This intro is already fucked up.
What are you even talking about?
I don't know.
Talking to talk. Like, you're talking to hear your fucking own voice.
But we break down a different record every week from a different band. If you didn't already know, my name is Tyler, and way out there, hundreds of miles away, is Jeff. While you're listening, go to Spotify, give us 5 stars on there, 5 stars only. Please go do that. Apple Podcasts, give us 5 stars on there. You can find us on pretty much any podcast app. All the social media is at Asinine Radio. We have a Discord server. If you want to join that, let us know. We'll send you the link. And we have a phone number you can call. It's 503-893-5307. And or if you're feeling a little bit lazy, if you're listening on Spotify, you can go down into the description of this song or this episode, episode, and leave us a message there. I don't care. Do whatever you want. It's your life.
Sure.
Just trying to let people know what's going on. So
you're trying.
Now that I'm trying real hard. Oh, this is already a disaster. All right, so
disaster.
Yeah, that's a great song. That's a great song. Don't tease me like that. That'd be great if we were doing that album, that EP. But anyway, what are we doing today, Jeff?
We're doing Ozomatli and their album Ozomatli.
Okay.
Yo.
Yeah, that's what we're doing today. So let's get into our origin story with Ozomatli and our initial thoughts on this record. Ozomatli, go.
Yeah, there was a guy at camp who was a big fan of Ozomatli, but I never listened to him. I never listened to him. I just know he had a bunch of shirts. He'd always talk about them. He'd play them, and as a 10-year-old, that was a little bit too wild for me. So like growing up, it wasn't until like I listened to Jurassic 5 really, in high school era, where I kind of put 2 and 2 together, or somebody told me. And then I went back and listened to Ozomatli. But it's a band that I don't listen to that often. But when I go back, it's just, damn, boy. When I go back, though, like, it's good. So I don't have, like, a rich history with them. It's just, it was for sure Jurassic 5 first, and listen to the Charlie Tuna and realizing his capabilities in both groups. Because Jurassic 5 is crazy underrated hip-hop
Is he in
group.
Jurassic 5?
Yeah, he's a founding member.
I've never listened. Oh, okay.
Jurassic 5, honestly, is a group that kind of isn't talked about that often. And I don't know why. I think maybe because the name's a little goofy. So maybe people just don't get into them that much. But fuck, man, they are unbelievably great. They're one of the best. They're one of the best fucking hip hop groups that come out of like the late 90s Los Angeles area. Straight up. Fantastic. Fantastic.
I mean, obviously, I've always heard Jurassic 5, but I don't think I've ever heard any of their songs, or at least that I remember.
So they did a song. They did a song on one of their albums. I think it was their second album. Remember the Rock Superstar song by Cypress Hill?
Yeah.
Rock Superstar. I swear.
Yeah, that song's so stupid.
Either one of them took it from the other one, because both came out in the year 2000. But Jurassic 5 has a song on their 2000 album that sounds like exactly like that. The hook sounds fucking identical to that hook, the Rock Superstar hook. So I don't know if Cypress Hill stole it or if they stole it, but I mean, they're all from, the Los Angeles area. One from, was it Southgate, I think Cypress Hill was from?
Yeah, I believe so.
Jurassic 5 from Los Angeles itself. But, dude, they're fantastic hip-hop group, amazing hip-hop group. And Ozomatli. So after many years, I kind of went back. I think it wasn't until like senior year of high school where I got a better appreciation for more diverse music. And I've always listened to like mariachi and banda, kind of growing up at like various my more Mexican side family members' parties, but I've always hated
Yeah.
it. I've never really liked it. I've always just thought it was joke music, and like, okay, this is fun. This is the same fucking song they played at every single party I go to, and it wasn't until much later that I really like it now. I really love it now. So I don't know.
Yeah, I do know you like that kind of music more because you've been buying it on the vinyls. So
Yeah, that is true. That is true.
um okay, so my origin story with this band, this group, was when you said you wanted to do this on the podcast maybe like 4 or 5 months ago when you put it on your list. I don't remember ever talking about them before this. I don't remember ever listening to them. Maybe we had listened to them. I just don't recall. And then I just kind of brushed it off. And then last week I thought, you know what? This is a weird band name. Let's just go for it. I don't know anything about them. We'll just go for it. And yeah, we decided not to rank their 9 albums. We decided to go against our normal rules and not rank them for various reasons. So this is just not what I was expecting at all. I was expecting more of like a punk, like a hardcore, like a what am I trying to say? Like a Spanish based hardcore band. That's kind of what I was expecting this to be.
Yeah.
I really thought that's what this was going to be. So when I threw this on, I was driving home from work actually, and I had like an hour to kill, and I just put this on. And I'm like, I didn't like it. I really did not like this at all. I mean, I skipped like probably 4 of these songs. Not even halfway
And
through.
probably the ones that are like the most traditional, untrained ear, like banda sounding, mariachi
Oh
sounding.
man, I could not get into it, and so I put it off a few more days, listening to this album more. It grew on me a little bit. I don't have any certified stinkers, but there are 3 songs that are damn well close to being a stinker, like really close. And then I realized upon my 3rd listen of this record what I really didn't like about this group, and it was the rapping. I hated the rapping. I still don't like the rapping.
Because of his voice, how deep
His
it is.
voice, it just doesn't sound good with this music. It just sounds it sounds so out of place. It completely destroys every song. Like it's like they wrote all these like really great instrumentals, and they said, "Oh, here just rap to this metronome," and then they just pasted it in there. You know, that's what this sounds like. I can't. I just don't. It doesn't fit at all. And there are songs on this record where they'll be doing this rad instrumental shit, and then they'll just stop it all, and then go into something completely different, just to kind of fit his vocals on there, the rap vocals on there. And even then, it doesn't flow to me at all. That was the toughest part for me. Were the rap vocals, 100%.
Okay.
It wasn't the
okay.
banda stuff. Like I can appreciate the banda stuff, like because that shit's fun. Like I don't really care for it that much, but it's fucking fun. But it's all the rap vocals that I could not get into.
So like
yeah,
I do think this album is very, it's a lot of genres. It's a lot of stuff crammed
There's a
into
lot
one.
going on, yeah.
But I think throughout the whole thing, there's this underlying hip hop element to it. Not just the rapping, but like the beats, the way songs are built, the way things hit, how hard they hit. I think like Cut Chemist is a fucking genius. I think what he does is just absolutely bonkers. It's so good. And do you remember? I don't know if you remember, but like I got this album Black Alicious, and I brought it was my pick of the week not too long ago, maybe like months ago. Chemical Calisthenics. Does that ring a bell at all to you?
I think so, yeah.
And it's just this song that was from Black Alicious, is another fantastic hip hop group, but like featured Cut Chemist, and what he done on that track for this group is just fucking unreal. So good. Anything he kind of touches in this era was just perfect. So this album itself has this underlying tone of just hip hop, but not just like hip hop in relation to like the black community, the Mexican community, the Cuban community, everything. There's a little bit of everything in there. And I mean, since I've been kind of working at the record store, I listen to all these stupid foreign pop stuffs now, just because I'm curious. And vocals are always bad. They're always the fucking worst part. It's always trash. The production's always way over budget and needless. but you do kind of get like this underlying pop, hip hop stuffs, and then you can hear it in Ozomatli. 20 years later, they're still doing kind of like the tricks that these guys are doing. And what would have been cool is if this was a band that came together for a one-off. If this was just a group of guys that came together, did a one-off, and called it a day, like that would have just been fucking monumental, historic. But because this was a band, and I listened to like their first 4 albums, plus their Kid album, plus like the Dodger song they did, and it's
Jesus.
just none of it's bad. No, I don't think any of it's bad, but
Hmm.
it's all vanilla. It is all vanilla except for this album. That's why I wish like this was just a one off. This was like a hey, let's see what happens, and then they did it and called it a day. I don't know. I love this.
Okay, no, I get it. I mean, I'm kind of glad we didn't do all 9 records. I think you might agree with that, right?
I didn't finish all the records. I couldn't do it.
You just couldn't. It was that like, it was that rough.
I listened to
Okay.
their first 4, the Kid record, and then I started the one they did with or I think it was Sly and Robbie.
Glenn Robbie, yeah.
But that one was like, ugh. And even when we did the Peter Tosh one, like the whole Sly and Robbie thing, like I don't particularly
I
get
think it's
it.
overrated.
I do. I think the bass playing is fucking unreal. Just the drumming, like what the fuck, man?
Yeah,
Nothing there.
I agree. I totally agree on that. What I do like about this record is that they infuse the funk, the hip hop, and like the salsa so well. Like it meshes super super well, especially the funk and the salsa. It's killer. But I'm telling you, man, the vocals ruin it. Like not even just the rap vocals. Some of the melodic stuff is just like, dude, shut the fuck up. Like
Oof.
you're not. I feel like
Oof.
sometimes it's just like you're not that great. You're not that great of a singer. Like let the instruments kind of breathe and do their thing. Like every once in a while they'll throw in like these melodic parts, these like backup melodic parts, and it's just it's so unnecessary, and it really took me out of the music. It was rough. Some parts were
Okay.
really rough, but then like the
Okay.
band of
Okay.
shit was so fucking good. It was so exciting. So yeah, there were many ups and downs on this record for sure. Overall, it's not a bad record, but it's all over the place. It's so unfocused.
It's
But
I mean off the top of my head, I can't think of any group, any record, anything that's ever been anything close to this. And you can blend a lot of these Latin
yeah,
genres together because they are kind of like bred from the same origin and they kind of have the same characteristics. But then when you start throwing like funk, there's even some reggae in here. There's hip hop.
yeah, there
When you
is
start throwing
ska,
all
a
these
little
things
bit
in
of
here,
ska too.
the third wave ska's in here, and
Yeah.
and you think like, dude, this doesn't really blend that well. It doesn't match, and it's just like, yeah, because there's no source material. There's nothing for them to say, okay, that didn't work for this band. Let's do it differently. Because I don't think anyone's ever done this. Even still to this day, I don't think anyone's ever done it like this. And I mean, not to say this is
And
like
maybe
great by any means. It's uncharted territory that maybe should have stayed uncharted.
and what I was so surprised at reading more about this band was that they're they're as popular as they are. You know, they were what were they like U.S. ambassadors for music or something like that.
Yeah.
So that let them tour all around the world, places where most bands will never ever play in their entire lives, like Tibet. Like what bands have played in Tibet? This is one of those bands. And then during this era, I think right after this album came out, they were opening up for Santana on his Supernatural tour, and then he kind of took them under his wing and helped them like gain a lot of or get a lot of success. They were on the following record, and just they've won like 3 or 4 Grammys or something like that for I don't know whatever categories. But I don't get it. They're like the vanilla. They're like a vanilla. I don't know because I can't. I want to say a vanilla kind of genre, but I don't know what they really identify as. Like a vanilla Latin salsa kind of band. Because I feel like they're more of that than anything else. They're more that than funk or hip hop or anything like that. They're more of a Latin salsa kind of band, maybe banda a little bit, but they're like a vanilla version of that. and I feel like maybe that's why they're as successful as they are, as popular as they are,
So
because
here's
they're not
like
really good at one thing.
this week. I mean, I do agree. I don't think they're great at any one thing. I think they're good at a lot of things, but they're for sure not great at any one thing. And they're even kind of annoying at certain things. But
Mm.
this week, what I really try to do, and I'm definitely no authority on these, but I really try to differentiate between these Latin genres, right? Not just like salsa, but getting
Hmm.
into like bolero, bachata, even like going down to like Brazilian stuff, samba, bossa nova, mariachi, norteño, all these different subsets of things. It was hard to pick apart. And each song I kind of did the best I could, but they all, I don't want to say they sound the same, because when in theory they sound vastly different, in application they sound vastly different. But it's just because if you haven't grown up with these, listening to them constantly, it's hard to differentiate. So therefore,
Agreed.
some of these songs are definitely like, this is just fucking mariachi band of music, whatever. And without, I mean, like, you shouldn't even care if you don't like the music. Who cares? Like, I'm not advocating either or. But when you get into like the nuance of these subgenres and how well these guys pull off each subgenre, it's fucking impressive. It is crazy, crazy impressive. But that just comes from like no one's gonna do what we did and spend this much time getting into something that on first listen you would just toss off as just joke music. So
Well, see, I wouldn't call it joke music. It's just something that it's not joke music because all these different genres of music are really, really good. I just, to me, upon especially first listen, I didn't think it was anything remarkable, and it sounded too scattered. It sounded too disjointed, and nothing really seemed to mesh well. It seemed like they all just threw out ideas, and then they kind of, cut and pasted where they wanted certain parts. Like none of it seemed very fluid.
and some of those choppy parts coincide with specific characteristics to certain, I didn't want to say subgenres, because these are things that are all their own individual thing, right? Like salsa
Yeah.
is its own thing and vastly different than bossa nova, but there are some crossovers. So some of those choppiness are a direct relation to what genre they are trying to accomplish. And I think like to people that like know a lot about Latin genres of music, this probably fucking blows their mind. To anybody else, this probably
Yeah,
just
it could
sounds
be.
like a band that is doing mariachi music with hip hop. And like those are the two extremes of the spectrum.
Yeah. I feel like, I mean, not to kind of toot our own horn, but I feel like we kind of sit in the middle of that. Like we're picking up other things outside of the salsa bossa nova stuff. We're picking up the funk, the ska, the all that kind of stuff. We're not just like pigeonholing it into like a band or a mariachi thing. You know?
And I only know fucking bachata and bolero because a friend of the pod, Ronald, dances. He salsa dances a lot. And
Yeah.
and when I was in my phase of making fun of him for salsa dancing, which I still am, because it's funny, don't
You're
care.
never grown out of it. Yeah.
No, he enlightened me of the difference between, because I would be like, oh, you salsa dancing? No, I'm going to bachata. I was like, oh yeah, that's just salsa, right? What's the difference? And then he's like, well, actually, and then fucking blew my mind with the nuance. I was like, oh wow, dude, that was pretty cool. Thank you for telling me that, because I'm still going to call it salsa, but I now I understand. So like that's the only reason why I know the difference between some of these two, or some of these different like sub genres. But
Yeah.
I don't know. It's kind of cool to think, from what I gathered, like a lot of these genres originated from essentially like slavery, bringing different cultures together through force. And then that's how these genres got mixed. Like even like the religion of Santeria, right? That's like three different religious religions brought into one and creating like a new thing, Santeria. So
Hmm.
all of these kind of like genres that we kind of just throw away as being goofy are a product of people being forced into one area and creating something new, something unique, and then I don't know, making something cool out of it. Ozomatli.
That's where we get Ozomatli. Yeah.
That's where we get Ozomatli. I fucking love this album. So every listen that I listened to the album like 9 times. Every time I listened to
Oof.
this album, it got better and better and better.
Jesus. Do you have this on vinyl?
No, they've only been pressed once. It's on my want list though.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I'll probably just buy it. I think the cheapest copy is like $60.
Yeah, that's steep.
It's that pretend money in PayPal, man. It doesn't matter. It don't matter.
Pretend money in
It's
PayPal.
that pretend money in PayPal. It doesn't matter. Doesn't mean
You got
anything.
all that money to blow on Discogs
Yeah.
tonight when we're done with
It's
the pod.
dangerous. It's dangerous.
You know what that means? Time to get dogs.
It's not.
Just
I,
kidding.
I try to look back on my want list, and then to see the guy that was selling dogs a couple weeks ago, and then I was going to message him and see if he's still selling it, but I couldn't find it. I searched
Oh.
like 3 times. And I don't
Well, I mean,
always look at my want list either. So when I trashed the message, it had to have been a message that I looked at. I don't know. It was hard to find.
All right.
Maybe like once it sells, it's erased completely from even like inboxes.
It probably is. I'm sure it is. All right.
Anyway,
Yeah,
Chongo.
Chongo.
That's my 1B. That's my biggest banger. It's a
That's
perfect song.
that's my 1B as well.
Is it really?
Yeah. I was really when this one came on the first time, I was really surprised. I'm like, okay, here we go.
Hell
Something
yeah.
fun, something
it
fun,
up,
something
pick
a
it
little
up.
bit different. It's the opening with the sax and trumpet. It's upbeat, it's catchy, it's dancey. That bass line has that like kind of staccato thing, but it still kind of walks a little bit. It's fucking killer. The backup vocals are great. It's what is it? What is it that they do?
Bow, bow.
Yeah,
Bow,
but
bow.
it's not just like a bow bow. It's like
And the little
it's
guy,
really
meow,
obnoxious.
meow. There's like this
Yeah, it's
little
like-
cat meow sound.
Yeah, it's very kind of obnoxious, but
Bow,
I love
bow.
it. I fucking love it. It reminds me a little bit of Jorge Ben. You know how like he has
Dude.
like just weird kind of noises in it in his music and everything like that. That's
See,
kind
you're
of what it
picking up.
reminded me of.
You're picking up stuff here. This song is not just what we're talking about. There's a little bossa nova here. There's
Yeah.
stuff being like accentuated on the offbeats. That's like some bossa nova stuff. There's those weird little complementary vocal parts that. How I wrote that bow bow part was I wrote Chris D'Elia's bass slide noise. That's how I know
Yes,
what that is.
yes.
Barrel, but
Brow.
barrel, barrel, barrel.
Bow bow. So obnoxious. It's
That's
so
what it
annoying.
is.
I love
It's-
it.
Dude, this song is so fucking rad. This is a dope mariachi type song blended with some like more heavier salsa or even like bossa nova. And this song drops hard into that really like slow jam part.
Yeah, that
The
break
bass
halfway
shines,
through.
dude. The bass shines. It's super solid line. Add some cool bends and slides. Fucking
Yep.
rad. So
I mean,
rad.
it really slows down a lot when it hits that break halfway through. It's super unexpected, and I agree, man. That bass line is fucking solid. And then it builds up. It builds up until the end of the song, but it never quite reaches what it was doing before. So, I guess kind of a negative thing I have to say about it is I wish they would have kind of broken back into that fast brown part. But it was still a cool build up back into what they did and to end out the song or to finish up the song that way. So
I love a song that gives you relief in a way that's unexpected, right? Like Only in Dreams, Weezer. And I also love a song that crescendos into something that kind of not quite the relief you expect. I also like that, and that's kind of what this is. That crescendo, the journey is the destination in that part. That last part, man, the way it builds, it's gradual. You feel it. Like everything, every instrument that it's playing, you can hear. You feel it, and it kind of gets to that point where, like, okay, I need a little bit more, but then it stops. I like that.
I do too. I do too. So what do you have lyrically on this one?
I think the song's about making fun of somebody who's ugly and hairy, right? Because the whole
Yeah.
thing, like monkey, Chongo means monkey.
Means monkey.
I think it's about making fun of somebody who's ugly and hairy, only to see them with like a attractive partner, and then realize that they're just living their life, dancing, having a good time. So you really shouldn't judge people because like, who the fuck cares? I think ultimately this record is politically charged, but or even more so, I think it's about just being like a good person.
So, a lot of what I was reading about, I mean, I agree with you lyrically. That's exactly what I put too. And thankfully we have Google Translate because I don't speak any Spanish at all. So it was nice to just, copy and paste the Spanish into the translator. But what was I going to say? I was going to say, oh yeah. So a lot of what I was reading about this band was that they're so politically charged. They're well known for that. And most of this record isn't isn't about that, except for like the last 4 songs, maybe. Nothing is very politically charged, and then even when the songs that are, they're not super deep. There's not a ton there. So, especially the more Spanish-driven songs, I feel like there's really nothing about those songs that is very socially politically driven.
I think
I
the
mean,
only
it
song
could
on
be
this
lost in
record that's
translation.
not
I don't know, but
the only song on this record that is not is Cut Chemist Suite. That is it. That's the only song on this record that has nothing to do with any kind of political or social issue. It's just a fucking self-masturbation song. That's it.
okay.
Just would just be normal
But see,
masturbation.
that's what I thought about all of Charlie Tuna's raps were about. Like most of all but like one of them, maybe 2 of them, were all just about like talking about how great he is and how
Well, you
he'll-
only got to talk about how great you are. I mean, what you do?
But it's just like
This
so
is
tiresome.
90s hip hop. This is
I know,
a
I
glimpse
know.
into the past. That's what
No,
everybody was doing.
And I understand that, but I mean, like I said, for a band that is talked about for having such politically driven songs.
They every other one is, and we'll get into
we'll
it.
get
I
more
guess.
into it. Yeah, we will.
It's-
We will. So I guess we can move on then.
Is Cut Chemist Suite a banger for you?
It is. Is it not for you?
Nah.
It's
This is
it's
a
my 2B
solid-
actually.
Are you serious?
Yeah, it's my 2B.
All the stuff you just complained about, like this is it.
I know. I think at this point, when you're listening to the record, I haven't gotten so annoyed with the Tuna yet. Like it's still acceptable, and I think the beat is so solid that you can kind of look past his rapping, and also because this is a more hip hop driven song, his vocals match better with this than the other more, like we were saying, salsa, banda, bolero, whatever it is, bossa nova, whatever. His vocals match better with this song.
Yeah, just because everything's. I mean, I like how everything's just a lot of low end sounds, but that's essentially what this song is. It's just a lot of low end. He's a very strong, deep vocal, right? That bass is super deep, and then all the Cut Chemist layers that he's adding to the song are all low ends. So the song is just essentially low end noise.
Yeah, which is, it's enjoyable. I thought this was a good song.
That's
I think
fine. Nothing wrong
it's
with
a
that.
it's a kind of standout song on the record too, because it is one of the more straightforward songs. Yeah, it has some of the elements we were talking about, but it is more hip hop based. It's more low end. It's more consistent. It's the most consistent song on the record, and it's nice. It's refreshing, especially coming off the first song, because the first song is it's a party. Como Ves is a pure party song. That's all it is. It has a
Banger
fucking
party
whistle in it.
song.
So, we'll get into that in a bit, I'm sure. But yeah, Cut Chemist Suite, I do really like this one. But, lyrically, it's just hyping himself up. It's
Mr.
annoying.
Antagonistic.
Yeah, it's just.
Sure.
I've read it a million times. I don't need to read it again.
It's funny.
It's
Look at it right now. A lyric pistol to the dome is how we warn a clone.
That's stupid. It's so dumb. It's not even good. It's not even good. They're not even good. His
You've
lyrics
gotta
aren't even
be
good.
You've got to be so fucking on point if you're going to build yourself up this way. If you have an entire song that is built, and like Cut Chemist, what Cut Chemist does versus what like Tuna does,
Yeah.
like Cut Chemist is on a different level.
Totally.
He's so
100%.
great at what he does, but Tuna's not like that great at what he
No.
does. Put him in Jurassic 5 because all 5 of those guys have just vastly different lyrical approaches, vocal approaches. Then it's part of a cog. But when you just put him like up against Cut Chemist, it's just like, come on, bro.
It doesn't flow, because I
What are you
don't
doing
feel
here?
like he has a very good flow. I really don't think he does, and then matches up with kind of shitty lyrics. Doesn't make for the best song, but it's still a good song on this record in the context of this record. Okay, so do we? We don't have to play the Cut Chemist Suite, or I don't care. We don't have to play that. Let's move on then.
His deep voice reminds me of Dre though. Like when like Dre and Let Me Ride, that like rolling down Slauson, like that kind of like gangster rap era. Like his voice kind of reminds me of that.
A little bit. I don't think his voice is that deep. I really don't.
Dude, his voice is fucking deep.
I don't know. I think Dre's voice is much deeper.
It's definitely deep. It's deep. It's deep.
Okay.
It's deep.
All right. It's deep.
Does somebody say steak? That was Deuce
Um,
Bigelow.
what 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 is your two B? What is your two B?
The last song, La Misma Canción.
La Misma. That was a wild song.
Wild song, baby.
That is my 3B.
That better be your fucking 3B. Because this
That is
song
my
is
3B.
fucking boss. Hear them gritas. Those screams, dude. That's what you want to hear.
Oh my god, this song is it's so much fun. It's so much fun. It reminds me of going to, I don't want to say family parties because they're not my family, but going to other parties where the entire 100-person family would show up, and this is what this song reminded me of, going to those kind of parties and just eating a bunch of good food and watching everybody dance and get wild.
This is perfect mariachi meets like this kind of subgenre of almost pop punk type of fun thing, because it's not traditional. There's still a lot of more aggressive tones here, so it's not
definitely.
like traditional mariachi. But on the surface,
But it has that same
it's,
feeling.
It's there. Yeah.
It has that energy of that kind of music. But yeah, it is grittier. I mean, there's that heavier kind of distorted guitar line that plays throughout that you would never hear in, I mean, as far as my understanding goes, you would never really hear that in kind of traditional mariachi banda music. And that was really nice. And that accompanied the accordion so well. I love the accordion. The accordion's fucking awesome. And they don't use it enough on this record.
The accordion, well, he was on 2 songs here. This one was more predominant than the other song he was on. But the guy that plays the accordion is a founding member of Los Lobos.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, his name was
Okay.
the fuck was his name? David Hidalgo, Guadalupe Hidalgo, like Mr. Ortega used to say. Ortega, but
God,
yeah, this was
Mr. Ortega. Oh my God, that guy was so. I liked him, but he was such a fucking dummy.
he was a putz. He was a putz.
He was. Oh my God, he was fun to talk to, and he talked shit on people a lot. But damn, he was just kind of. He was a knucklehead, man.
He was a knucklehead. He was a putz. Yeah, dude,
God
David
damn.
Hidalgo, founder of Los Lobos, right? Early 70s, mid 70s, iconic fucking band. And they got him. They got him on here to play accordion on 2 different songs, and it fucking works, man. So like throughout the song, you hear kind of the ups and downs, and then it gets to that part where Cut Chemist starts tearing it up, right? All those cool noises, and then it's a fucking banger of a closer song. Cut Chemist is throwing all these space noises,
Yeah,
these
it's
weird
like
noises.
it's like that's what I was wondering. Like at first, I thought it was like a flute, maybe like some sort of like piccolo or something. But then it got too zappy. It got too Dick Hyman and
Yeah.
And then I realized, okay, this is definitely a synth. But then I didn't assume that it was Cut Chemist because I thought he only did more of the scratching and everything. But this seemed more of a solo rather than like a scratching kind of thing.
I think anything that doesn't go along the lines of traditional, like, quote unquote salsa vibe, I think anything electronic is Cut Chemist, because I know they have like a keyboardist or they have somebody doing things, but he's the only one that I feel in his extracurriculars that kind of pushes the envelope and does things genre wise that no one else can really do the way he does.
Yeah,
So
because
that's the way I feel.
Cut Chemist, if you listen to his other stuff, he draws from a ton of different influences. I could see him drawing from like 50s kind of that Dick Hyman thing to 60s surf rock to 70s disco beats to funk music. He's the kind of guy who pulls from so many different genres and throws it into a single song or single part, really.
Yeah.
So I could definitely see that.
I mean, he's played with so many fucking, just like a variety of people that just have some type of a foot in the hip hop realm, right?
Yeah.
Not just like hip hoppers, like Incubus, right? The fucking on Make Yourself, he played, or he was co-writing on some song on there.
I think it was
So-
was it Battlestar? Scratch.
Yeah,
Lactica,
Battlestar
whatever?
Scratch
Scratch
Lactica.
I think
Scratch
it was what it was,
Lactica. Battlestar Scratch Lactica. Stupid.
But you've heard Cut Chemist, his first record, right?
I've never heard any of his solo stuff.
Oh, dude, that first record.
Nothing.
God damn, when that record came out, I was working at Tower Records, and these two guys that work with Sean and Marlowe, dude, they were like hip hop aficionados, like underground conscious hip hop. That was their thing. On top of like hardcore punk, like those were their two genres, and they all they would listen to in the store was like underground hip hop. And Cut Chemist, when that record came out, they were always playing that, and they were always playing J Dilla Donuts. That was it. That was their jams for months while I worked there. But yeah, that
really
first
should
Cut
get on
Chemist
that
record's
one.
awesome. That first one is fucking killer. I just look. It's called The Audience is Listening. That's what it's called.
Ooh,
Yeah.
it's probably just full of fucking noises and eclectic sounds.
No,
that are
it's
just,
no, because he has people on it. Well, at least on a few of the songs. Like you've heard the song "What's the Attitude." I know I brought it to the pod in the past. You would know it immediately when you heard it. It's like has this like jazzy stand up bass as like the main drive of the song, and like I don't know, you would know. I guarantee you would know it if I played it.
Hmm.
It's a killer record, killer record.
Okay.
But yeah, anyway, Cut Chemist, he's awesome.
What song are we talking about? Oh, La Misma Canción.
Yeah, that's right.
The song is so fun, dude. I still like. I mean, I there's not a lot of opportunities for me to do it, but at camp was a big opportunity for me to do those. I think they call them the gritas, 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 which just means like screams, like that, like
Oh, okay.
those things. And we just do them at camp all the time, just because you're outdoors. You can be as loud as you fucking want. But I don't have a lot of opportunities to do them anymore. But this week in my car, I was doing them pretty good.
With all the windows rolled down.
In there. No, they were up. That's weird.
Oh, please. All you do is drive around with the windows down when it's 110 degrees out.
Well, that is
Driving with the
true.
windows down.
But I can't be rolling around this fucking area listening to band of music around these people.
That's where you draw the line. That's where you
I
draw
don't want
the
to
line.
get fucking killed by these psychopaths out here, man. Everybody's got a gun out here. These fucking intolerant shitheads. But yeah, La Misma Canción. Jesus Christ, this is such
Great
a
song.
banger of a song. Such a banger.
I also heard a lot of I got a lot of Google Bordello on this song because it was a little bit heavier. It was more like party based with the accordion especially, and I really picked up a lot of Google Bordello on this song. It's a great song, man.
Yeah,
So let's play a little bit of La Misma Canción, and we'll go from there. So here we go from Ozomatli.
The same old song.
Great song. Great song. I have no idea what this is about lyrically because there was nothing really written about the lyrics, and I don't speak Spanish, so I couldn't run it through Google Translate. Do you have anything on it?
Yeah, so he just repeats like a lot of the same lines. Essentially, like I'm from the earth was what I took a little Spanish in high school, and some of my more aggressive Mexican family members speak Spanish, but I never picked it up or anything. But I know
family member.
aggressive Mexican family members speak Spanish. But like I know decent amount. I still know a decent amount. And from what I could tell is he kept saying things like I'm from the earth, you're from the earth. I'm a dude, she's a dude, that type of thing. And what I think this is about is about putting like aside politics and other shit just to drink, dance, and sing the same song. Like Misma Canción, that's the same song. Fucking dope. It's cool because he talks about tequila and limes. Did you pick up the tequila part?
I did not know.
He talks about just like either I don't write exactly what it said, but talking about drinking tequila with lime and just having a good time. So I think this is another social kind of song because this band is a hodgepodge of a bunch of different cultures, of a bunch of different walks of life. So this is about putting aside race, ethnicity, religion, politics, whatever. Drink, get drunk, have a good time. And even sometimes when he's singing like the more extended vocal parts, sounds like he's drunk. Sounds like he's drinking already.
Okay, I didn't pick up on that, but
Sound like he's drinking. Sound like they're already drinking. This is the Mexican
a party
equivalent of an Irish drinking song.
okay, all right. I can understand that from a musical standpoint, but I guess now it makes more sense lyrically as well. Yeah, it's good, man. This is a good song.
The song's so good. Such a cool, such a rad closer.
It
Like the
is.
perfect closer.
You can't. I don't think they could have gone with a better closer than this one.
No.
Like this fits their. I think the root of their style the best.
Yeah.
So this is a great one. This is a really great one. This is my 3B. This is your 2B, right? Okay, so what's your 3B then?
Cumbia de los Muertos.
Cumbia de los Muertos.
Cumbia de los Muertos.
That is not a banger for me. Not a
That
stinker,
is
but
that
it's a
is
good.
wrong.
It's a song.
Okay. Okay.
So what
okay.
do we have? Okay, let's talk about this one. Let's break
Okay,
it down. What do you
okay.
got?
So I think this means like Dance of the Dead, De los Muertos, like of the dead, and then cumbia is like a specific style of dance and I don't know if it's like a way of life or it's just like a cultural thing. I'm not too sure. Like Colombian cumbia music, I've recently gotten into in the past several years, which is so fucking good, so friggin'
So
good.
friggin' good.
So friggin' good. But like, come on, dude, you know the song is gonna be a good dance song right from the get go. And that back and forth in the chorus, that's a specific characteristic of like reggaeton. It's a sort of call and response type of thing. So there we go, blending more genres in. It's very subtle, very light, very good, very cool. Bassline is heavy, it's thick, plays around nicely, and like they're blending a lot of different songs here. It's a
They
salsa
are.
song with hip hop and very slight reggae, and it's fucking great.
Yeah, I got the salsa stuff. I got a little bit of reggae. I think musically this is a fantastic song. It's great use of like the cowbell, not like a normal sounding cowbell. It might be a different kind of percussive instrument, but it kind of sounds like a cowbell, higher pitched one. I thought that it blended so well with the salsa nature of the song, and but the complete break in the song when Tuna comes in and starts rapping just instantly killed it for me. Just flat out killed it, because this is another instance where they completely stopped at what they were doing and went into something almost entirely different just so we could rap over it for no good reason. No good reason at all. It killed it. It ruined it. This could have been a fucking sick ass song had it not been for him.
Okay.
I'm telling you, man, the rapping. Oh God, I wrote this in a few of the songs too. I would actually prefer to have. I might get this on vinyl if they had a strictly instrumental version of it, no vocals whatsoever.
Oh, no. You gotta have
No, except for the
take
last
tune
song.
out, whatever. No, you gotta
Except
have.
for the
you
last
need the
song.
screams. You need the singing.
No,
You do. You gotta have them.
except for the last song. That's the only song that I feel like the vocals need to be there. Otherwise, everything else can just be an instrumental, and it could be way better. It would be way better
There's like
if it was just that.
there's like a layered kind of like inherent pop punk tone to the vocals because there's constantly nasally. And then I kind of thought in my mind, I thought,
Great place
you know,
to think.
like a lot of like the mariachi music, I say for some of the bigger names, Vicente Fernandez being the biggest, I think, in that type of Mexican genre. There's a lot of like nasally vocals, and that's like maybe, I don't know, maybe subconsciously the reason why I like pop punk so much is because listening to a lot of this kind of translates to like, oh, now it's just more aggressive form of mariachi. It's goofy, it's fun, it's lighthearted and nasally. I don't know.
That's an interesting thought. I wouldn't have made that connection, but it could make sense. Because I mean, yeah, it could make a lot of sense.
Damn, the song's so good. The even tune is not bad. It's at the end of it.
He's
Kind of bleeds the song out. It's
But
a
it's
good,
like the last like minute and a half of
yeah.
the song. It completely kills the song.
It's fine.
Like a fucking death nail into the song. There's no reason to have him here. It's just another instance of where they thought, oh well, you know, we kind of said he can be on X amount of songs, so we got to make room for him here. Let's just add this part in and give him a metronome so he could rap over that. Even then, he still doesn't have great timing. He still doesn't have great flow on this record. He can't even nail his verses. I don't know, man. He's just so weak. He's so weak on this. I mean, I can't say for Jurassic 5, but He's fucking weak on this record, man.
He's definitely known. He's more known for one, like having the deep vocal. Like that's, I mean, he's deeper than Dre for sure. He's
Okay.
known for having the deep vocals, and then he's also known for being like quick, not like fast, like he's Twist out here, but he's quick. It's you can
But he
understand
doesn't.
every word that he's saying. He's not quick on this album like he is in a lot of Jurassic 5 stuff. So I think that's like his forte, what he is really good at. He's not quite utilizing in this band because he's trying to slow it down. He's trying to contrast the kind of faster salsa stuff. And it's not, I agree, it doesn't work all the time. I like it, I enjoy it, but I think it would have been better. I think it would have been better if he just wasn't in it entirely. But
Agreed.
I also think it would have been better if he did what he did best. If he was just very fast, because in Jurassic 5, like, he throws shit down quick. Like he's spitting out rhymes fast.
Are his lyrics
But-
better at least in Jurassic 5? Because, like we were saying earlier, his lyrics are pretty awful.
Well, they're stereotypical. I mean, in Jurassic 5 is not, again, it's not entirely fair because he has a bunch of guys to bounce ideas off of, and I don't know, dude. Jurassic 5 is so good. I think it's their second album, Quality Control. That's what it's called. Fucking fantastic. Damn near perfect hip hop album. Cut Chemist is there. There's a bunch of guys on there, and everybody's tearing it up. And he has other people to kind of make his verses better, and he can kind of make other people's better, and they, I don't know, they work off each other really well. Unlike this band, where this is a musical output, and so he's not playing an instrument. He's rapping, and
yeah.
that's tough. It's tough. It's like a rapper joining like Santana's Supernatural tour. Like that would be fucking crazy talk. That would be silly, and it wouldn't work. But
And
it
doesn't
doesn't
work here.
It's not. I think it works. It just doesn't work that well. It works, but not that well.
Yeah.
And I truly do believe that he's better than you hear him here. He's much better on
Okay.
Jurassic 5.
I mean, you've obviously heard more than I have, but I mean, just basing it off of this record, it's pretty abysmal. I really believe that. It's so unnecessary because they really had something good going.
It's
Really
just-
did with that.
It's the transitions to his parts too. Like they just
They make no sense. There is no
they don't make any
transition.
sense.
There's no transition.
Like bring it back to Francis the Mute, right? In La Via, that dum dum dum.
Mhm.
Like it doesn't take much. It doesn't take much to transition a song. Really doesn't. And I feel like they don't set him up for success.
No, not at all. Yet this band has won Grammys. They're loved all around the world.
Well, don't forget, like you can win a Grammy for the best salsa, jazz, fusion, hip hop, funk
True.
group because you're the only fucking person there. You know, like who else
true,
are gonna
yeah,
get the fucking Grammy to?
No, that's a good point.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh shit. Okay, let's play a little bit of Cumbia de los Muertos.
We don't have to play that one.
Why not?
We move on to
I only have 4 Bs, and we've already gone through
communal-
3 of them.
What's your fourth one?
What is my 4th one? This is all new to me. So, Eva.
Ava. That's my 6B.
Okay, then let's
Wow,
jump
okay.
into that. So yeah, Eva. This is more hip hop based with that beat. Some great percussion on top of it. The acoustic guitar is nice. This is the first time on the record where we hear a little bit more acoustic based stuff, which is nice because I think it kind of goes along with that kind of not banda style, but maybe calypso a little bit. I guess calypso might be the right kind of genre to lump it into. It just complements it well. The bass line is really, really groovy. I mean, honestly, all the bass playing on this record is fucking solid, top notch, solid. I mean, he knows how to groove.
Yeah.
Absolutely knows how to groove. He knows how to hold back when you need to during certain beats. Like he's not always just kind of walking all over the place. He's not getting all crazy. No slapping or anything like that. He's just a solid fucking bass player with some really great lines. And
Yeah.
it's not as dancey as some of the other songs, as some like bossa nova, some Brazilian stuff. But there's a little bit of Jorge Ben in this song too that I'm reminded of. So I don't know. What do you think of this one?
Yeah. So like I'm gonna go backwards. Lyrically, I think this is a love song. It's about someone who wants to keep the love or relationship a secret, and he doesn't want to go his whole life in secrecy. Like he wants to tell people about his relationship. So given
Oh,
that,
okay.
this one's super salsa sounding. It's faster paced, which I think is a blend of bolero and salsa, because I think bolero is a more traditional love song type jam. And again, I'm not an authority here on Latin music, so don't shoot me, guy from Chile that listens.
I know.
Um,
I wonder what he could teach us about like this kind of stuff.
yeah,
He-
I really am scratching the surface here. I
Yeah.
think I think bolero is more traditionally slower and like romantic based. And so like lyrically this is romantic based, but it's like faster paced, and it's so I think that's cool that they're doing like which I think they are doing a bolero mixed with like salsa, because salsa is like a faster paced bolero, I think. And so if that
Okay.
is true, they're again blending these super niche genres together that don't know a lot about, but that's fucking rad. And yeah, the percussion in this one, it's unbelievable. It's some of the coolest percussion in the entire album. Like what the
Yeah.
some of these fucking instruments are playing. Sounds like 15 guys are playing these instruments at the same time.
It's
It's
solid.
cool.
Yeah, it's really solid.
And that bass just fucking runs up and down constantly, just going all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Totally.
it's good. He was
Did
my number.
Did you
6B.
get Jorge Ben vibes from this one, or am
I
I kind of on the
didn't.
moon?
I didn't really get any kind of like bossa nova thing for this, but I
Okay.
think that was I think it's just 'cause I dove so hard into some of these other genres I don't deal too much in, like bolero, bachata, some of these other ones I don't
I'm
know.
curious. I mean, do you have like a brief explanation as to what bachata is?
Yeah, I could throw down what I think it
Oh
is.
yeah. What do you think it is? Because I'm completely in the dark.
So like bachata, that's Dominican Republic. I do know that, probably like 1950 ish, give or take a decade.
Mhm.
And I think bachata is from what I remember, it's a little bit of like bolero, but like the instrumentation is more like electric guitar, bass, bongos, and it's got like the romantic tone, the slow tempo, the troubadour vocals, right? Like that type of thing. And I think like when you think of Dominican Republic, and I act like this is what I think of, but it's just because this week I read a lot about different things. But like merengue, that's
Mhm.
kind of what comes to mind there. And I don't know. Again, these countries, a lot of African Spanish influences here, and it's all about like this rhythmic pattern. This five, I think it's a 5 beat rhythmic pattern is what they're going with here,
Okay.
and it's I don't know, an accordion, a lot of like 2-sided drums. You know that fucking that thing. I don't know what it's called.
I think I know what you're talking about.
God, there's just so many like little tiny things in there. But I know Carlos Santana talks about bachata, or he has talked about bachata. I'm sure he talks about fucking every genre of Latin music known to mankind.
I know also on this record they talked about like El Salvadoran salsa music. So I don't know how
Yeah.
that differs from salsa music from Colombia, from fucking anywhere else. You know, I just don't know. I never grew up in that kind of stuff or with that kind of music. But other than going to like friends, family parties and stuff. But yeah, I have no idea. I mean, there's one song that's like lyrically, it's directly about the El Salvadoran revolution in the late 70s, early 80s. But I don't know if that song musically kind of takes influence from that style of music, from that style of salsa. I don't fucking know. I really can't tell the difference. I mean, we're just so naive when it comes to this. It's tough. It really is kind of
It's
tough.
I don't know if there's like a difference between salsa and like Salvadorian salsa. I'm not sure. Salsa's
Sure there
that that genre of music that pretty much like I think started in Cuba,
Cuba.
and then
Cuba Gooding.
once Fidel Castro said like, nah, we're done, nobody can leave or come, and I'm a dick. Then it translated or it transitioned over to New York, and then all of like the little Italy, the little Puerto Rico, the little Cuba, the little everything in New York blended together, and that's when salsa really popped. That's when we got like Willie Colon, like at his
Mhm.
best, Hector Lavoe, like these great salsa dudes like really become popular, and that was in like I think that was in like the late '60s, early '70s. So I think salsa really got its hold. I would say like in New York, honestly, that was when people were forced to either flee Cuba or realize that they're not going there for a while
Well, I think a lot
and
of people
take
fled Cuba
hold.
to Florida as well. Florida, probably New Orleans, things like that, especially Florida.
But New York was already welcoming of different communities, and there was already an
True, that's true.
established Little Italy. There's already an established Little Cuba. Probably, I don't know. I've only been in New York a couple times.
Yeah, yeah. So kind of going back to what we were saying, like different different regions of salsa music, different I guess the cultural differences within the salsa music genre. It makes sense because now that I'm thinking about it, with like say punk music, you have like East Coast hardcore, like New York hardcore. Then you have hardcore from here in LA. Then you have like different punk genres. You have you have like East Bay hardcore. You have the surf skate punk of Southern California. You have all kinds of you have these different like subgenres within a genre regionally, much like I guess you would have regional variations of salsa music, right? I guess it's kind of the same idea, or maybe I'm kind of on
It's
the moon
just
here, but
it's really what like you grew up on, right? And like subgenres of punk. I mean, just piggybacking on what you said, it's so easy for us because we listened to it for so long to differentiate between skate punk and anarcho punk to even like crust punk
to
to
oi to whatever.
fucking oi, yeah, to pop punk to Celtic punk to I don't know, gypsy punk. We talked about Go Bordello not too long ago. Like there's all these things that once you say that word, it's like, oh, I instantly know several bands that play that to a T perfectly. But
Yeah,
when we
yeah,
talk about and like when I say salsa, I think when you say salsa, it kind of because we're so naive at it, because we don't know a lot about it, we are talking about essentially all of these Latin America subgenres of music, and we just
yeah,
say salsa because I don't know how to differentiate them the way I can stuff I've grown up with. So therefore, yeah.
yeah. I mean, it is out of ignorance, but it's not like we want to learn, we want to know. You know
Dude,
what I
then you got
mean?
like reggaeton, right? Remember Daddy Yankee?
Oh, dude, I hate reggaeton. That is like
Oh,
one of the worst genres.
what about
Oh,
Despacito? You like
I
Despacito?
hate
That's fucking
Despacito.
reggae.
I hate that
What?
song. Yeah, I hate that song.
What?
I hate all the versions of that. I
What
hate
about
the original
Gasolina?
version. Gasolina is kind of good. Gasolina is
Damn.
kind of good. Actually,
Gasolina.
that's a banger. But really, outside of that, reggaeton is just it's one of the worst. Like it's for me, that's up there as one of the worst genres with worship music, with pop country.
Okay, I will say,
I hate that shit so
I
much.
I will say, so like reggaeton. Just another brief thing that I was reading this week. Reggaeton, it's Brazilian. It's from Brazil, I think. I'm pretty sure it's from Brazil,
Is it? I thought it
but
was more. Okay, yeah, sorry.
it's from Brazil, and it's got that call and response type of thing, and it's focused on like like carnival aspect and politics. It's fun. It's lighthearted. The reggaeton that you hate and I hate is more of that Despacito kind of pop, Latin pop influenced reggaeton. That's fucking trash. But some
Hmm.
people even say like Jorge Benjor, reggaeton. Some of the stuff he's
Maybe
done is
maybe
reggaeton.
some of his later stuff, like stuff in the 80s and 90s. But I mean, his stuff from the late 60s and 70s. I mean that. I mean, maybe that is an early form of reggaeton. Like first wave ska is not the same as third wave ska, but
Yeah, third way's better. But I think like the whistle
well,
and the cowbell and like those
for the most
goofy
part.
instruments is that's like reggaeton.
See, I always viewed reggaeton, what we're talking about with the Despacito and Gasolina and that kind of stuff. I always viewed that as like, more Miami based, like very like Cuban
Party.
Miami. Yeah, like a party scene. Like it reminds me of my fucking dad, and that annoys me too because my dad lived in Miami for over 10 years, and all he would talk just the fucking stories he would tell me. It just
He's probably more of an authority to talk about this some of these subgenres than we are.
oh I yeah 100%. Like yeah I dude my dad, yeah, definitely. My dad's an idiot too, so there's that. Well, I mean, he's just an idiot for other reasons, but it's just like he annoys me. So he annoys me a lot. So I think him telling me these stories and knowing how annoying he is annoys me. So that's what it is. Has nothing to do with the culture or anything like that. But
Nothing to do with reggaeton. Okay.
well, it does and it doesn't. It's just an annoying music. Ah, God. If anybody knew my dad, you would understand how annoying he is. But yeah, anyway, dude, my dad just likes to party. He just loves to fucking party, and sometimes it's obnoxious. But anyway, let's move on.
Sounds like a good life. I don't know.
Oh no, I mean, yeah, he's seems to have lived a good life so far. So yeah, he's a party guy for sure. Miami, fucking insanely stupid.
Welcome to Miami.
Oh god.
Yeah. So,
Yeah,
what
anyway.
were we talking about right
Yeah, I
here?
don't know. We were talking about reggaeton. We were talking Ava
Ava.
Longoria,
Yeah. Ava Long.
your girl. Anyway,
No.
yeah, I don't know. We can move on from Ava. That's fine. I mean,
Okay.
lyrically, I got something a little bit different, but it doesn't really matter at this point. I don't think there's really anything deep about this song lyrically, so I can move on.
There's only a couple more talking points that I would really like to at least touch upon. And then
Let's do it.
Yeah, that's about it, right?
Well, let me before we get into those talking points, let me give you some of my almost stinkers.
Okay.
'Cause that's always fun.
Yeah.
So almost stinker, Super Bowl Sunday.
Super Bowl Sunday.
That was
with
close.
an AE.
That was close because you get that first minute and a half. It's like the sitar Indian music thing. It's fucking great. For no good reason, it just stops. Completely fucking stops. And then it goes into this hip hop thing, and it's fucking awful. I hate it.
So
But
like
Yeah.
the guy that did that was Paul Livingstone, and he was one of the few Americans to have trained with like Ravi Shankar. So he knows how to play the sitar. And yeah, this is the one that bleeds into like a deep reggae, almost dub jam, with a lot of Latin percussion and a lot of cool turntable beats. This is an okay song for me. This is one of the only two songs on here that was like, okay, I really could do without this song. This one and Cut Chem is Sweet are the only two songs I
Really?
could really do without. When Tuna comes in, first of all, that bell
stupid.
sound, it's whatever that bell sound is, that's so 90s hip hop sounding. That is fucking
Yeah, it is.
stuck in time
It is.
forever. But not a fan. Not a big fan of that one.
Fair. But the bass kills it on this
Yeah.
song once again.
Dude, the bass, the guitar, and the drums, all fantastic. Always.
Yeah.
And the
There's some
guitar
cool ska
slays
stuff too.
in its like simplicity constantly. Like it just he
Totally.
knows when to just I don't know, just to palm you and riff. That's it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Super Bowl Sunday, absolutely. What's the other one?
Chota. Penis.
Chota.
Penis. That's what that means. Had no idea that's what that meant, but there you go. That's
This is a
almost stinker for me.
this is a low B. This is a low B. I like this one because that fucking bass line during Tuna's part is so sick, and there's so many different
Yeah.
instruments going on here. This is fucking rad. This is a cool song, and like lyrically, it's a cool song too. Like they, I don't know, they're taught that they're relating police brutality through different cultures and even languages. Tuna is set up beforehand in Spanish as sort of like a listen to this shit, but like he says it in Spanish, and so it's like okay now. Mexican listeners listen to this guy, and now it's like in English, and I think that's a cool way of translating to the same problem to different cultures. That was fucking rad. That was cool.
Yeah. I did like the lyrics on this. The lyrics on the latter part of this record are deeper. They're better, and this is one example of that. And I think that's why it didn't quite make it as a stinker because I did enjoy the lyrics more. The bass line, like you said, super fucking groovy. I love it. But the singing melodic parts make no sense and are wildly different than what's going on during the hip hop stuff. When all that stuff drops in, it's like two separate songs that don't sound good next to one another. It's like, I don't know what the fuck they were thinking with this song. None of this song makes any fucking sense outside of the lyrics. But yeah, I'm with you. Lyrically, it's about the corruption of the police and how people need to stand up and take the power back. And they both kind of, like you said, they kind of, it's the same thing, both Spanish and in English, but kind of, I don't know, not said in different ways, but Did I interrupt you? What were you gonna say? I'm sorry.
No, that's it. You're good. We are. That's about. I think that's about it.
I
did
did
want. So I have
well,
three.
yeah.
I have three mentions, and I have three mentions. I have 3
Let's
mentions.
get into it. Might as well
The-
finish with all the songs. We're almost
The
over.
first one, it's fine. I just want one more song mentioned because it's stupid. And the song "Donde Se Fueron," the lyrics. I think it revolves around the Santeria religion. I don't know much about Santeria except that I don't practice it or have a crystal ball. Pukicha. Get it? Because I don't practice Santeria.
Yeah, no, I get it.
I ain't got no
And
crystal
the crystal ball.
All week,
Yeah, no,
I've
I
been
get
waiting
it.
for that one. All week.
I mean,
I've been waiting for that one.
I would have laughed if
I
it
got
was
too excited.
funny.
I got too excited.
You did. You
There was
got-
no setup at all. I got too excited.
There was no setup. There wasn't a lot of subtlety to it. You could
I
hear the
know.
excitement in your voice, so it didn't hit quite right. But
Oh my god!
I
When
got
I
the
was
joke.
typing it out, I laughed so hard. I thought it was so good. Gold, Jerry, gold. One of the other talking points, just real quick, was the drummer. Did you read anything about the drummer?
Yamaguchi, Jiro
I don't-
Yamaguchi.
I don't know what the fuck his name is, but
That's his name.
Did you read what he did?
I did not. No, what did he do?
So he was arrested in Fountain Valley several years after not being in Ozomatli for thinking his mom is possessed by a demon in the driveway of their home and stabbing her repeatedly to death in the driveway.
Oh
So,
shit!
yeah.
And he rejoined the band like 10
no.
years after he left this band.
I think this was maybe even more recent then because pretty sure he's in like he was just very mentally unstable and needed to be on medication probably. So he went to what do you call them? Not like they don't call them mental institutions
facility.
anymore.
Psych facility.
Yeah, like a psych facility.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was blown away. And then you could read like Orange County Register posts or articles about it. And it's like, wow. In court, like he was thinking like nothing happened. But I think that's a trait of like bipolar
Yeah,
thing.
schizophrenia.
So it's pretty sad. Not that I was like laughing about it because I was laughing earlier. I think I don't know. It's kind of funny.
He's still in the band. He's still in the band now.
Are you sure? Like this guy?
Yeah, he's listed as a current member. Yeah.
What the fucking shit?
I'm
His name was William
Jiro-
Marufo.
no, okay, no. Jiro, wait,
Jeremy.
did Yamaguchi not play on this record? I thought he did.
No, there's no Terry Yakamoto.
Dude. You're an idiot.
Guttermouth.
I thought
If
it was
anybody-
the OG members who played on this record. Oh, fuck. I fucked
no.
up then. I did fuck up then.
No. Dude,
I am totally wrong.
If any of our
My
listeners
bad, man.
caught like Terry Yakamoto as a Guttermouth album, I will send you $10 in the mail.
So,
Yeah, so
okay,
that
on
was-
on this okay, wait. On this record, Yamaguchi did play. He played like percussion on this record. Yeah, William. Okay, you're right. I stand corrected. William Jesus Marufo played the drums on this record, but he's listed as like an additional musician. He's not listed as an official member.
He's the only one playing the drums, though, right? Nobody else plays.
No, you're right.
drums.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, he like stabbed his mother with like fucking 2 knives in the driveway.
Yeah, it says right here he was arrested for beating, slashing, and stabbing his mother to death with 2 meat cleavers and a boning knife. I don't know what a boning knife is.
It's for boning. Duh.
There you go. Yeah, Marufo informed detectives that he believed his mother was possessed by Satan and that he was trying to save her soul. He was convicted in 2006 of first-degree murder with an enhancement for the personal use of a deadly weapon. Marufo was subsequently found not guilty by reason of insanity and was placed into a state mental institution. I wonder which one. Maybe I've been there. Been to a lot. For work, not for personal reasons.
He was arrested in like Fountain Valley, so maybe you have.
Maybe. There's a lot of psych facilities here in SoCal, especially in LA County.
Okay.
Especially
Well,
LA County. Woo, I wonder which one he's at. Anyway, yeah, I did not
And the
know
last thing I wanted to touch upon was the producer here.
that. Why?
Just because he's done a lot of cool stuff outside of this. He's worked with Cypress Hill, Cool G Rap, just iconic hip hop artists, and he even did a remix for this song called "Here to Stay." If you've ever heard of
From
this
Korn?
song from the Untouchables. Yeah, by your
From the
band
Corns.
Corns, dude.
Yeah, but all those Here to Stay remixes were such shit.
Oh,
They were all so bad.
yeah,
They were so
yeah.
shitty.
That was I don't remember too much about the Corn rankings, but I think I listed Untouchables as one of the worst.
Yeah, you didn't like Untouchables. I think that was like bottom 3 or 4 for you.
It's probably like Serenity and then Untouchables.
No, Serenity was at the bottom for you.
Yeah,
For whatever
that's what I mean.
reason.
Serenity's the worst, and then Untouchables.
Oh, and then
is the second
Untouchables.
worst.
Well, that's wrong and stupid.
But yeah, that was just I thought that was a fun little fact here.
All right.
But that's it. That's all I got. That's it. That's all.
I'm kind of looking through. Was it T-Rex, or what's his fucking name?
T-Ray.
Todd Ray. Yeah. Looking
him
through his
T-Ray.
T-Ray. That's a name. Yeah, he's done some decent stuff. You know.
He's just done a lot of remixes.
Yeah,
and
that's
I don't
what it
know.
looks
I don't know
like.
how I feel about like someone who bases a career off of a lot of remixes yet.
I mean, you could make a lot of money. He produced
I
a
know.
Helmet record, which seems
Yeah.
really weird, but okay. He did a Head PE record. Snot. Oh, he did Snot. Oh, that Snot record's so fucking good. Ooh, shit. He did that right before he did Ozomatli. That Snot record is fucking production-wise. The songs are fucking awesome on that record. I've been wanting to do that record on the pod for a long time.
I think I've heard you. I've heard you mention that specific record many a times.
That Snot record is like a grittier version of $3 Bill from Limp Bizkit. Like I mean, they were made at like the exact same time, but that Snot one was definitely not different, but just more intense in some ways. It's a great fucking record.
Okay.
Anyway, yeah, Ozomatli. We're not talking about Snot. We're talking about Ozomatli.
Yeah. No, we're pretty much done here with the Ozomatlis.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I don't have anything to say about the other songs. Just that my other almost stinker was Coming War. But not because of the lyrics, because I thought the lyrics were actually good. But let's give our final thoughts on this record. Then we're going to rate it according to our world famous 3-point rating system, where 3 is a perfect album, 2 is a good album you're going to continue to listen to, 1 is a bad album but give it a shot, and 0 is the worst thing you've ever heard. So, what are your final thoughts and your rating? Go.
Again, this is an album that I don't go back to often, but when I do, every several years, I fucking love it so much, and it's gotten better and better the more I dive into the various genres of like Latin America and pretty much like anything that I would say is salsa. And so I hope I get to a point where I'm so on point with like these other genres of salsa that I don't know too much about, to where I can differentiate on cue the way we can like punk music. And that would be super rad if I listen to this one more time and I'm like, oh fuck yeah, this is bachata, this is bolero, this is norteño, this is mariachi. Like instantaneously, that would be really rad, because like we didn't even talk about like a lot of the funk stuff that is happening here, because even
That's
that
true,
which
huh?
we don't listen to a lot of, but like I know when I hear it, it's easily digestible. I wish this was a band that was a one-off. I wish this was like a super group that came together, did an album, maybe toured a little bit, maybe does like an anniversary tour every so often, calls it a day. Still like politically active, because they do a lot of stuff. They do tour a lot, and that's cool. But man,
Yeah.
listening to the rest of their albums like kind of diminishes the quality of this one, because it's so exactly the same. And this isn't like great. This isn't fucking mind blowing. This is just so unique that I still cannot think of any other group that has done this many genres and blended them together from so many different walks of life, so many different people, in a way that's at least digestible. Some of these songs are fucking certified bangers. Some of these songs are beyond bangers. And some of them are just, okay, I wish that was done better. So for a band to do this, it's whatever's. For like a one-off supergroup to do this, I'd be fucking blown away. So because of that, I'm going to dock them some points, okay?
Okay.
I'm going to dock them some points. This is higher than a 2 because I will listen to this again. I'm gonna probably buy the vinyls at some point because PayPal is free money essentially. It's just play money, make believe money. Not a perfect album, not even close. But there is something to be said at the tenacity of how hard they are hitting some of these genres and how much they are trying. So I'll do 2.4. 2.4. That's what I'm gonna
Wow,
give it.
that is so fucking high. Holy
Yeah.
shit.
2.4.
Holy fuck, that's high.
2.4.
Okay, all right. That's fair.
Yeah,
That's fair. I
2.4.
guess, for you. All right, my final thoughts are I didn't like this at first. It took me several listens to kind of really get into certain songs. I think there's some mediocre songs for sure. I like the ambition of this band. I like that they attempted to mix so many genres into one thing. But this week has made me, and especially talking with you about it, it makes me want to learn more about the other variations of salsa and whatever else. You know what I mean? From Latin
Yeah.
America, like you were just saying. It really makes me want to learn more about all that kind of stuff. So I'm able to differentiate between them all, like you were saying. I think that's just cool because I mean I love learning about new music. I love kind of learning is the best way to say it. So that's been eye opening this week, especially this episode. And otherwise, I don't know. I'm just going to be repeating what I've been saying, but
Repeat it, baby.
I don't think I'm ever going to go back to this record. I really don't think it's too fragmented. It's too there's no cohesiveness to this record. Like I understand what you're saying. Like they threw a lot of genres in there, but I don't. Yeah, they did that, but there's no cohesiveness to it. There's no structure. It's just like throwing a bunch of shit at the wall and just kind of scraping it off and saying, okay, this is it. This is what we have. There's nothing here. It's just all, just none of it makes sense.
Okay.
Very unfocused, but I think instrumentally it's solid. Vocally, it's rough, especially with the rapping. And I'm gonna have to give this record. I would never buy this on vinyl. I think I would only ever listen to it if I'm with you. But I'm gonna have to give this record a 1.5. 1.5 out of 1.5 out of 3 for me. Because it's not a terrible record. Because like I said, they're great. They're great musicians. They really are great musicians. It's just songwriting is not too great. Vocals suck. And 1.5 out of 3 for me.
Okay, that's not bad. It's not bad.
So, and I think once I begin to kind of learn more about the different subgenres and everything, I would like to go back to this record and see if I can kind of pinpoint what they're trying to go for. I think that would be kind of exciting, considering we just spent an hour and almost 20 minutes on this record.
Yeah.
So, yeah, there you go. That's all I got for this one for this album.
Down Slauson. I'm Dr. Dre in the 90s. I rap like this.
God, Slauson. We have memories with that street. Remember that? Remember Slauson?
Yeah, I do remember
Do you
Slauson.
remember? Yeah, we do have memories with that street.
Yeah.
But anyway, do we have anything else on this record?
No, that's it. That's all.
Okay, well, thank you all for listening. Go to Spotify, give us 5 stars. Keep listening, tell all your friends, and that's it. That's all.
Dr. Dre.
Dre. Oh, you fucking idiot.
The last song, La Misma Canción.
La Misma. That was a wild song.
Wild song, baby.
That is my 3B.
That better be your fucking 3B. Because
That
this
is
song
my
is
3B.
fucking boss. Hear them gritas. Those screams, dude. That's what you want to hear.